Hey guys, so I've had this Stellina for quite a while now, and she's probably my favorite Tokidoki. And I've had her on the shelf, and I've knocked her over a couple times, so I think it's just time to clean her up a bit and fuse her up. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so I like to use this tool. It's just a little plastic needle, and I like it because you can't really poke yourself, and also you can pick things up fairly quickly. I have a bunch of perler projects that are on my bookshelf, and sometimes I just knock things over and just toss them on top of this perler tray so that I won't lose it and I can just use it for a future project. So these colors aren't actually for this specific Tokidoki. Let me try and clean her up. Take out this blue. So as you can see, it's kind of cool to use this because it really helps you guide a little bit better. So let me clean her up and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so it looks like I cleaned her up quite a bit and I like her. The design I got, actually, I just looked it up online and I kind of made it my own from a couple of different people who have posted pictures of their own Tokidokis, Stellinas. So the next step is to fuse. So let me move out that, and let me grab my iron. Actually, before I grab my iron, this is the actual side that I want to have her looking. So I'm going to get another one of these pegboards and then flip her over and then infuse it on that side. So let me go grab a pegboard real quick. Okay, so I have another pegboard and I'm just going to match it on the other side. And I'm going to try, and you guys notice that over time your pegboards are going to start to warp just from the heat. So you just want to really be careful and get every single bead in a cell. So take your time with this because you took all that hard work just to get the design that you wanted. Let me flip this over. And I'm holding onto it really tight. See, I don't have every single cell yet. And I'm going to turn it over. And fingers crossed that nothing falls out too much. Okay. And then so we're going to look over our work first before we fuse it to make sure that everything is in place. Nothing looks loose. So let me get my paper and I get the glossy side and I put it down, which is this side. Let me go grab my iron and then I'll just show you how I normally fuse. Okay, so I have my iron. It's still plugged in. It's super hot. It's on the hottest setting and no steam. And I like to just fuse it on one side, so I'm going to take my time here. And hopefully you guys can see when I'm checking and lifting and checking, because you don't want to melt too much. So at first I just start in the middle and I go in circular motions, and you want to go really slowly so you don't actually knock a bead out of its cell. And as you can see, it's slowly getting fused. And I have very, very light pressure because, like I said, initially you don't want to knock anything out of place because it's really hard to fix. Okay, just gonna start going toward the edges now. Just want to be careful not to burn yourself. I'm just going to continue to go in a circular motion. So the way that I know that my beads are how I like it, you can see here that they're all fused. So I'm probably not going to touch that area anymore. So I want to continue and go down here to the right. And once you see that inner circle is all closed up, that's when I just stop fusing that section. I'm going to turn her, make it easier to fuse. And some perler beads, different colors, actually fuse a lot faster than others. You just have to be really careful and monitor that, because if you just over melt them, it'll look really funky when you take it out. Just doing the edges. And turn her again. Try and get her feet done. So I am going to finish this, and then I will show you the next step. Okay, so I zoomed in a little so you guys can see it a little better. A lot of the parts are fused together, but what I'm really trying to do is make sure that most of the holes are closed. And I also noticed that when I was putting the paper on top of the perler beads, there's a crease right here, so unfortunately I'm going to have a crease on my Tokidoki. But I can live with that. I don't really look at that side anyways. So just fusing it, and I only like to do this one time, so once you take it off the board, it's really hard to have that clean effect at the end, because when you take it off, the little cells actually kind of keep everything in place, and if you were to not fuse it correctly, things can just melt away to the sides. So I think she's pretty good. Let's get down here in her mouth section. But yeah, I think we're good. Oh, be careful. I just burned my thumb. You guys really just want to be careful when you're doing this. Okay, I don't want to overdo it. I think I did overdo it around here, and I'll show you the results in a little bit. So what I like to do now is I like to put something really heavy on top. And one thing is that will help prevent it from warping, and it'll help make it stay flat. So we'll do this for a couple minutes, and then we will take it off and lay it flat again. Okay, so it's been cooling down for a while, and I'm going to take it off the board, and then we're going to cool it some more on the table. So if it just, oh, there you go. It lightly comes off. And what I'm going to do actually now is you want to not only put something heavy on top of your perler bead, but you also want to put something heavy on top of your board, because like I said, it's going to warp. And the best way I know of not letting it warp so much is having something heavy on there when it dries. So let me put one stack first on my Tokidoki, and then I'll put something else on my board here, and then I will get back to you guys in a couple minutes when it's completely dried or cooled off. Okay, so I think it's all cooled down. So let's check out my board. Looks pretty flat. Feels kind of warm, so I'm just gonna keep my books on there until that completely cooled down. So for now, let's just check out my Tokidoki. So here, I don't know why, but she has like a little bit of yellow in her. I don't know if it's just because my board was dirty and I did something yellow before or what. But overall, I think she turned out really cute. Here's my little Hello Kitty one too. So yeah, I think it turned out to be a really good project, and for you guys who are interested, just go ahead, hit pause, and hopefully you guys can copy mine as well. I really like Tokidoki, and maybe I'll start to do a couple more other Tokidoki items, but for now, she's my first project, and she's my favorite. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I will try to post more videos. I've just been really busy lately. Alright, have a good day. Bye.